Don't you stress, call Stephen Dowell, he's simply the best. I've seen the market high and low, thousands of deals, I know the flow. From first-time buyers to big-time deals, I listen close, that's how I seal. You've got goals, I've got a plan, custom strategy, yes I can. Every step I guide you through, making real estate work for you. It ain't luck, it's what I do, results that speak, proven and true. Folks do well, we do well, that's right, morning, noon, and late at night. Buy or sell, I'll get it done, top tier service, second to none, free moving van, yeah, I've got your back. Perks like that keep you on track. When it's time to make your move, call down Will, you can't lose. Launch it strong on a Monday morn, maximum buzz from the day it's born. Open houses, marketing fire, getting your home the price you desire. From social reach to buyer's line, I stay ahead, I stay on time. Follow up strong, no detail missed. Negotiation, that's my gift. More than a sign, stuck in the yard. I go the distance, I work hard. Client events, experiences too. Working with me, it pays you. Folks do well with Dale, that's right. Turning your goals into real life wins. Smooth transactions from start to end. Your trusted reader and your friend. Free moving van, let's make it easy. Clear, no stress, not complicated. Believe me, when you're ready, just give a yell. Folks do well, with Dowell. Stephen Dowell. One more reason why folks do well with Dowell.
Well, hello. Wouldn't it be great if AI could just get my name right? It's Dowell. All right, folks. You would not, that was Samuel. You would not believe the trouble I've had trying to get this live stream online. It has just been unreal. But we got it. Just a few minutes late. All right, tonight we're going to be talking about how to maximize, how to market your home to maximize profits. And most homeowners think that selling is about putting a sign in the yard and listing on the MLS. And that's exactly why so many leave thousands of dollars on the table. Share this with you really quickly. I showed a house in Bowling Green approximately 2 weeks ago. Listed at $200,000. Now, the house is worth $200,000 in today's market. But for some reason, the seller decided, after me making numerous attempts and letting them know that I could get them the $200,000, they decided to turn loose of $20,000. That was hard to see. That was hard to see. My name, Stephen Dowell. I am the Real Estate Whisperer. I have sold as an agent or a broker successfully managed over 2,000 transactions totaling over $300 million. Tonight, I'm going to show you exactly how to position and market your home so it attracts more buyers, creates competition, and sells for the absolute most money possible. Now, tonight's big ideals. Marketing equals money. You may want to take some notes. I'm going to break this down simply. More attention equals more showings. More showings equals more offers. More offers equals higher price. Listen closely as I turn the page. If your home doesn't stand out, it doesn't sell for top dollar. Write that down. And here's why most homes fail to sell for top dollar. They overprice to begin with. There seems to be some false thinking that we'll price it for way up more so we can come down. That does not get you top dollar. That may have worked back in the 90s. It does not work today. Second reason, poor photos. Sometimes when I'm looking at listings, I cringe at the photos. I was looking at a listing, commercial listing, $1.1 million here in Selkie. The photos were, I won't use an adjective. Suffice it to say, the reason this property didn't sell. And yes, I've reached out to the owner, cannot get him to open my emails. He's got $1.1 million on the line, and he can't be bothered to open up 2 emails. That would greatly help him. Cluttered. People don't want to see your stuff. They want to see the home, or in a commercial sense, the building. You're not selling your furniture. I saw just a few minutes ago a for sale by owner, beautiful home, $850,000 here in Bowling Green. There's a sitting room, living room, and it's got this huge teddy bear as the focal point of the photo. In one photo, it's the focal point. In another photo, from a different angle, you've got a beautiful fireplace, but guess what's blocking it? The teddy bear. This home has expired, been on the market several times, expired. It's for sale by owner. right now. And the photos are a big reason why it's not selling. And that's just one example. Here's one of the biggest reasons: weak marketing, an MLS only mindset. If the MLS alone would sell homes, there would be no expired listings. It takes more. Sometimes, depending on the circumstances, a lot more. In the case of an $850,000 or $1.1 million listing, a lot more. You can leave no stone unturned. And that's one more reason why folks do double down. But that's not what we're talking about. Listen very closely. The market doesn't reward homes that are good enough. It rewards homes that stand out. Your home has got to stand out. It's got to be the obvious choice for buyers. Here are the 5 keys to maximizing profits. Don't test the market. My list to sales price ratio is 98%. It would not be that high, nor would my days on market average be as low as it is if I tried to test the market and price way up high so I could come down. That does not work. Price to attract attention. The right price creates competition. The wrong price creates silence. This is scary, I know, but I've seen it work time and time again. Price it well below market and receive multiple offers and a bidding frenzy. And that offer goes well above list price. And you get more than you would have pricing it a buyer. Presentation. Cannot stress this one enough. Clean. Declutter. Neutralize. No purple walls, folks. You may love purple, maybe your favorite color, but most people do not want purple walls. First impression is everything. The yard showed several homes last week where the yard hadn't been mowed. Now, guess what I tell my buyers? This tells me the seller has checked out and is no longer interested in this property and therefore will accept a much lower offer. Yes, buyer agents working with the buyers notice things like this and they tell their clients. So if you're getting lowball offers, look around, see what you're giving off as a vibe. Went to one house. It's been about a month ago. It expired. I could tell right off why without going inside. The sidewalk, very narrow. Not a problem. However, the bushes next to the sidewalk, so overgrown that you could no longer walk on the sidewalk. That's the first impression that anyone who looked at that house got. It put a bad taste in their mouth right off the bat. And again, cannot get the seller to communicate. I don't know. This is very important. Buyers don't see potential. They see problems. Professional photos, number 3. Your first showing is online. No obstructions. No ball goes in the middle of the garage. You know, I'm not talking about hanging up on the wall. I'm talking about one that's stationary or not stationary and blocking the garage. No cars in the driveway. The house must be the star. If your photos don't stop the scroll, buyers never walk through the door. And don't take multiple pictures of the outside and put them at the front of the listing. You need one picture in the front and then get them in the house. And do not put the first picture of the interior as a laundry room or a bathroom or even the kitchen. They need to walk through the front door and see what they will see when coming home. Your pictures need to follow a logical succession according to the flow of the house. Here's something that realtors need to know too. Most everyone, whether it's a realtor or for sale by owner, just willy-nilly launches the listing with no plan and no strategy. Timing matters. You need a launch day. You need to create urgency. Open houses early. And yes, I don't care what anyone says. They work and work well, even when no one shows up to the open house. If you do it correctly, want to know how to do it correctly, contact me, 606-425-3640. You do not ease into the market. You hit it with momentum. Exposure and marketing. Social media. You need a video. It does not and should not be a professional video. It should be a walkthrough with you talking, even me talking with this voice. And it needs to have excitement. Direct mail. And if you're too busy to do direct mail, or you don't want to spend the money, hire a realtor who will use direct mail. What I do is I have the resources to find everybody in our area, regardless of the county, who has the credit, the income, and the need to buy your property, regardless of the price. Whether it's $120,000 or 2 million, I can do that, and I will do that. I create a booklet for each listing that highlights it, and they get that in the mail. You need a targeted outreach. Who is your buyer? You got a 5-bedroom home. It's not a retired couple. You got a 1-bedroom home or 2-bedroom home. It's not a large family. Targeted outreach. Who can afford your home? Where do they work? The more eyeballs on your home, the more money it brings. Simple. This is where most agents stop. This is where I start. I have a listing strategy. We launch on a certain day. We have professional photos. We have videos. We have direct mail campaigns. We plaster it on social media. I have systems, like I mentioned, the booklet. I don't just list homes. I position them to sell. All right. Most agents put your home in the MLS. Maybe throw it on Facebook. I don't know how many times I've seen sellers advertising their own homes when they're listed. If you're having to advertise your home on social media, even after hiring a realtor, or God forbid, you're having to show your home after listing it with a realtor. I don't know how many times I've had people tell me, well, the realtor would call me and ask me to show it. What are you paying them for? Owners should never show their own home. For one thing, buyers don't want to look with you looking over their shoulder. Second thing, first negative thing the buyer says, 9 times out of 10, the seller gets offended and blows the sale. Third, most real estate lawsuits, almost all, are from for sale by owners. Everything starts with the launch. If you get that wrong, you're chasing the market from day one. I'm going to break it down. Strategic pricing, not guessing. Price per square foot. That's what you have to go off. You have to look at the solds, not what's listed. The solds. And get the price per square foot. Average. Taking into consideration anything you have that they didn't, like basements, fences, outbuildings, garages, swimming pools, anything. Pre-listing prep, declutter, positioning, small fixes, professional photography. You need to hire a photographer. Sellers take the worst pictures. The irony is they think they're the best. They're not. Timing the launch for maximum exposure. Did you know, and I'm not going to share this here, there's a certain day of the week that is the best day to launch. I got to save some things for myself. We don't just put your home on the market. We introduce it to the market with momentum. Once your home is ready, the goal is simple. Get as many qualified eyes on it as possible. High impact photos that stop buyers from scrolling. Social media exposure, including videos. Targeted, not random. You're going to have to pay for some advertising. You're going to have to go in there and you're going to have to target your likely buyers. If you can't do that, hire me. Direct outreach to buyers and agents. I mentioned open houses. You need an open house for the public. You need an open house for the neighbors. And you need an open house for agents directly. Within the first 2 weeks. Preferably within the first week. You need to vet buyers. You need to make sure they have the income and the credit needed to buy your home. And if you can't do that, or you're unwilling, hire me. It's what I do. The more attention your home gets, the more leverage you have, and that's what drives price. Now, this isn't something I make up as I go. It's a system that I've developed over these 2,000 plus sales, 2,200 something to be exact. You need to develop a step-by-step listing process, consistent communication with sellers. If you can't do that, and you're a realtor, get out of the business. We need to track feedback from showings. And getting feedback from some realtors is like pulling teeth. Stay on them. Here's what happens 95 times out of 100. You need ongoing marketing. Not just week one. Week one, some agents, they got it. They're on fire. Week two, nothing. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. And potential buyers notice that. Listen, I'm going to say something you need to write down. If you're not excited about your listing, no one else will be. I have a playbook I follow so nothing gets missed from the moment we start all the way to closing. Systems create consistency. Consistency creates results. At the end of the day, you don't just want your home listed, you want it sold, and for the most money and the least amount of time, because time is money. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Here's some common seller questions. Should I price high to leave room? Yes, you need a little wiggle room. Don't list at your bottom dollar price, but don't price thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars higher than you should. And don't price above market. If you're trying to go over $200 a square foot, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Do I really need a stage? I wouldn't say you need a stage, but it definitely has to be decluttered. You want to remove anything that is not necessary. And you don't want anything to be the focal point, any of your possessions, to be the focal point of a room or to take up the majority of the picture. It is now a good time to sell. Oh my goodness, yes. Even just a few years ago, prices have risen dramatically. When I started in this business, to get $100 a square foot, you better be flawless, top of the line luxury. That is no longer the case. Homes, even in the smaller counties, 130, 150 a square foot, not a problem. Here in Bowling Green, 175 to up to 200 if it's really sharp. That used to be beachfront property prices, by the way. If you've even been thinking about selling, the strategy you use will determine how much money you walk away with. I have a free home value on my website, realtorstephendow.kw.com. It's not precise, but it'll give you a really good range. We can have a free strategy session. No pressure. If you want to maximize your profit and avoid the mistakes that most sellers make, let's talk. I can walk you through exactly what your home would need to sell for top dollar. My number, 606-425-3640. Text me. We'll get together and make this a reality for you. It's one more reason why folks do well with Dow. Thank you.